to my channel, or welcome back. I am J.Gillyy, and today I'm just going to do a short little video on something I really love, and that is watching TV. Watching TV or movies. I'm a huge binger. A lot of times I don't even like keep up with live shows, one because I'm super busy usually, but just because I like to binge and be able to know what happened without having to wait week to week. So I say all of that to say I'm just going to give you guys some of my favorites from this past January, give you guys some little recommendations, and yeah, and I'll be back in February with a whole new list. So I'm going to go ahead and start with TV shows. So I have my little like notes right here. If you see me looking, that's what I'm looking at. So first of all, and I'm pretty sure that this is not news to you, but Bridgerton from Shondaland, not written by Shonda, but a part of her new TV empire, Shondaland, was 10 out of 10. Amazing. It's giving Gossip Girl. It's giving Scandal. It's giving what needs to be gave. Honestly, a great show, great plot. I'm hoping that each season will kind of be focused on each sibling. I think that would be a great thing for the writers to consider. But essentially, Bridgerton is about, is it colonial? Is it, I don't know what time period it's supposed to be in, whatever. It's like Victorian, they dress up in corsets and things like that. And it's about the process of like marrying and marrying within your class, things like that. And then all the scandals that kind of happen around it. And there is a anonymous writer that basically keeps outing everyone's secrets and things like that. I probably did a really bad job describing that one, but it's so hard to describe a show like Bridgerton without giving away what kind of happens throughout the season. So it does follow a family. The family is Bridgertons, the Bridgertons, and it kind of just follows their life and all the things that revolve around the eldest daughter finally being of age to be married off. All right, next show is Altered Carbon. It is a Netflix original, and it honestly, it took me a while to watch it. I think I tried to watch it like probably between 5 to 7 times the first episode, and it never clicked. And then one time I actually ended up waking up to the second episode, and it was actually really good. So I was like, okay, wait, let me stomach the first episode so I can get back to this episode and understand what's going on. In short, Altered Carbon is like a futuristic show that revolves around our world and different, I guess like it's different, how do I describe it? It's like this new world. So basically, you know how we always talk about can there be life on Mars, or can there be, this is a show about what happens when there can be life on other planets and how there are different societies on these different planets. This particular show is centered on a technology that allows for people to come back even after they die, as long as this chip that's in their neck is not damaged. And it's just about figuring out like who kills you. It's very interesting. If you can get through the first episode, well, I'm telling you, get through the first episode and you'll really like it. The second season actually has Anthony Mackie in it, which was great to see him. He's really a really good actor in my opinion. So it was good to see him in that. So Altered Carbon is definitely a must see. Moving on, this was suggested to me by Jessica. His Dark Materials is on HBO. So His Dark Materials is really giving like Narnia, the Golden Compass, for those people that remember those type of movies, books. And it also is based on a book. So His Dark Materials is centered around a girl, and a little girl who is going to fulfill a prophecy, but she cannot be told what the prophecy is Otherwise, it will not happen the way it's supposed to happen. And again, I can't give you too much because you need to watch it. But it has talking animals, it has flying witches, it has all of those different elements, and then it has different parallel universes. So it's really cool in that aspect. If you're into things like that, that definitely is something that should go on your list to watch. There are 2 seasons. I think it's 7 or 8 episodes per season, and they're like 45 to 50-minute episodes. So it's relatively a quick binge. It has the main character from Split. Oh my God, his name, something McAvery. I'll put it up here. But excellent actor. The acting is wonderful. The children actors are really good. Sometimes children actors can be like, but they did a good job with the casting in this one. So yeah, that's that one. The next one is Your Honor. And honestly, guys, I am a huge fan of these limited series shows. I know that a lot of times we get invested in shows and we want season after season, but I think a lot of times, and we've seen it, that sometimes shows just should end after a certain point because you lose the quality of the show. So I think that with producers and writers moving towards this limited series type of genre, I guess we can call it, you really just get to see this masterpiece unfold in like a 8 to 10 episode season. So Your Honor is a Showtime show. It follows a judge and his son, and the son hit and kills a local drug lord's child and runs from the scene. And so the show basically just follows this disaster waiting to happen of the judge and the son trying to clean up their tracks and involving all these people in the process of trying to make sure the son is not killed or found out that he actually committed the murder. Very good series. I think it's on episode 7 or 8. It's live right now, so it's coming out every Sunday, and it's only supposed to be 10 episodes. So we only have a couple of episodes to go, but honestly, it's a really great series. They've done a really good job. It's one of those series you're like yelling at the screen because the characters are like working against each other, and it's driving you nuts. But I honestly liked it. I think that if you are into like thrillers, mysteries, things like that, you'll definitely like Your Honor. Okay, moving on. This is also a little bit in the past, but I'm bringing it to the forefront. Fargo. Fargo was so good. I think Fargo has 4 seasons of Fargo, but the great thing about Fargo, like many other shows, each season is independent of the other. They kind of have like the same type of crime, cop type of theme, but each of the seasons have different characters, different plots. The first season was in Minnesota, and it's so funny because I didn't really know that Minnesota people have accents, but this show for sure showed me that, it's really ugly. I won't even do it on camera because it's really, don't you know, it's so bad. And then the 4th season, of course, has Chris Rock in this like very serious role. And at first I had a friend that kept telling me like, yo, the show is good. And I'm like, Chris Rock, like in a serious role, but he actually did a really good job. So each of those, I think it's 10 episodes in those seasons as well, and each episode is between like 45 to 50 minutes, but honestly, it's worth the binge. If you like crime, thriller, again, Fargo is a great one for you to catch up. I suggest season 1 and season 4. I haven't watched the other ones, but when I do, I'll catch you guys up and let you know if it was a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Something that was a thumbs down for me that I watched and I only got through a couple of episodes was Tiny Little Things. It was just like it was a no for me. Like from the acting, I really think what they did is they found like a whole bunch of dancers, because the dancing in the show is impeccable, but like they can't act. So I just was uninterested. It was a Netflix show. It is a Netflix show. I was just uninterested. The acting was so like cringy. I was like, and turned it off. No thanks. Yeah. Something that I am watching TV wise, it's a little bit different from what I have shared, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I just wanted to throw that out there. That's the newest addition to the Housewives franchise. And I don't know, it's kind of getting a little boring. I'm trying to hang in there to like complete the full season. But I'm really tired of their storylines at this point. Jen is crazy. And I said this on Twitter, but Jen is giving Jackie. Like, she's so crazy, it's delusional. All of her beefs and fights don't make any sense. And that's probably the most entertaining part of the show. But at the same time, it's annoying because it's like, bruh, you cannot be this delusional. Oh, but you can. Okay, so moving on. WandaVision. Okay, I've been hearing like mixed reviews about this, and I just want to say I personally grew up watching like AMC and what are those TV Land, those type of channels with my dad. So I really am into like shows like I Dream of Jeannie and I Love Lucy, the older shows. So the first 2 episodes are definitely giving I Dream of Jeannie and I Love Lucy. I'm hoping that it's going to shift. Towards the end of the 2nd episode, we kind of get this feeling that Wanda and Vision are trapped somewhere and that maybe they're about to break out and then maybe the action will get to going. But I do want people to keep in mind that this show is PG rated. Like, I don't even think it's PG-13 rated. It is PG. So I'm very skeptical to see like if there's going to be any fighting or anything. I honestly don't think it's giving that. We will see. I liked it. If you want like good, clean, like, haha, that was funny type jokes, it's the show for you. But otherwise, yeah, it's not giving like a mission. It was literally giving like misunderstandings, jokes, clumsiness, and like, yeah, I Dream of Jeannie and I Love Lucy with powers. That's it. Moving on to Bling Empire. Okay, I totally binged this show in like one day. It's 8 episodes. They're like 45 minutes long. It really truly just puts all of the Real Housewives franchises to shame. Asian people are so freaking rich. It's sick. The one thing I can say that's different about Bling Empire and like a lot of other reality TV shows is that all reality TV shows kind of have like a storyline, but like Bling Empire's storyline is like you're watching a movie or like a series. Like each episode is literally connected to the other. And yeah, I liked it. I thought it was a good series. I thought it was interesting just to see their way of life and just to see how rich can you really be. These people literally put them to shame. Like, yeah, ridiculous. I thought it was good. One thing I can say, one of the characters, Kevin, his storyline irritates the heck out of me because he tries to act like he's so like poor, but his net worth is like 19 million. And I guess that says a lot because everyone else's net worth is like probably 10 times that. They're just so freaking rich. But if you like reality TV shows, definitely give Bling Empire a chance. Off to my latest binge, fresh on my mind, CW has a lot of gems, and this is just another one of them in their treasure chest. In the Dark. In the Dark is about a blind girl who finds her best friend in an alley dead. And she kind of like feels their face to confirm that it's them. And when she reports it to the police, it becomes this whole ordeal of the police like not believing her because she's blind, etc., etc. And then she basically just embarks on this journey as a blind woman, trying to uncover what really happened. It's 2 seasons. It's 13 episodes per season, and each episode is about 45-ish minutes. But it's so good. Literally, I was just talking about this with a friend yesterday. Like, CW really has gems. That is not the only CW show that I've watched and have been like, wow, this is surprisingly good. I really love the story of, a lot of times we don't see people with disabilities really shown in the light where they can do things on their own. I think this was a champion project for them to put out to just show that, even if you are blind, yeah, you can be independent, you can go through life and do normal things. Because even when I was watching, I found myself being like, kill, I didn't know blind people could do that. But like, why couldn't they do that? It made me feel a little like prejudiced. And it really is just that I didn't know. So I really appreciate companies that put out different type of material that just make you think outside of the box and just see like different cultures and groups of people. And, it was cool. I really liked it. I give it a 10 out of 10. If you're into, again, so it's like thriller and mystery. If you're into that, I would give that one a try. All right, next. I went over a friend's house and literally binged this in like a few hours, or really like an hour or so. It's called Death, Love, and Robots on Netflix. It's giving like Black Mirror, but like 10-minute episodes. Literally one of the episodes, and I'll just tell you, like, one of the episodes, a couple moves into like this new house or whatever, and they find a civilization in their freezer, and the civilization literally goes through everything from Inception to like the Civil War. Like, it literally just progresses through all of history, and then like they close the freezer and open it back up, and they're on to the next stage. Super, super fast. It's definitely like a mind F each episode. But seriously, like a really cool, like 1-day binge. Like if you're all for like, maybe you don't have any meetings and you want to try something new, definitely the show to watch. Really like that. That was a thumbs up. Okay, that's it for my TV shows. I'm going to move on to movies. So Regina King released this movie, One Night in Miami. It's a fictional account about Malcolm X, Sam Cooke, Jim Brown, and Muhammad Ali. And at the time, oh Lord, what was his name before he changed it? Cassius Clay. So this is right after Muhammad Ali won the heavyweight championship of the world in Miami, and this movie is a fictional tale about what happened because they were all seen in Miami together. As you know, historically, Malcolm X was responsible kind of for bringing Muhammad Ali into the fold of the Nation of Islam, and the movie is one big giant conversation. So if you're not into movies like that, it kind of reminded me of something recently that came out, Ma Rainey. So Ma Rainey, I felt like, was a movie that was centered more about the conversation. It wasn't necessarily about the plot. The plot is the conversation. So again, with One Night in Miami, it's really just talking about, Sam Cooke's involvement in the industry and what he's bringing to the table in terms of the movement in that time, the civil rights movement. And so it was an interesting, conversation. It definitely still relates kind of to what we're doing today, even with the Black Lives Matter movement. And just, should celebrities be included in the fight for justice? Should they be using their platform? So Regina did a good job with the casting, for sure. And of course, the conversation was excellent. But if you're not into things like that, like if you want to see different scenes and, have a plot and a climax, and you're not going to get any of that from that movie. It's literally just a conversation. It's definitely a conversation piece maybe to have with your friends, but I wouldn't look for too much more other than that. Okay. All right. So my next one is American Skin. I forget which one, who's responsible for this. Oh, Nate Parker, and he stars in it. Nate Parker is in American Skin. It is a movie about a father who takes over a police station after his son is wrongfully shot and killed by a police officer. Now, the difference in, a lot of people were saying they didn't want this. It's becoming a genre of like Black trauma porn. And I do understand where people are coming from with that one. I was excited for this movie, I think, because it was giving like, what's that movie with Denzel Washington where he takes over the hospital? I forget, I'll put it up here. But basically it was giving like that revenge, like, yeah, get those cops. Like I thought it was gonna give that. To be honest, the movie kind of disappointed me in a couple of ways. So one, the movie is about a kid that is making a documentary, and Nate Parker's character kidnaps the kid to make the documentary of him taking over the police station. So with that in mind, I was looking for more of a drama film, and they really kind of shot it like it was a documentary for at least like the first 20 to 30 minutes, and it really just annoyed me. I think it was just my expectations, and so I guess because I was a little like thrown off that that's how they were shooting the movie, it just made me like dislike it. But in hindsight, I feel like, you know, that was the goal, so they did achieve the goal. But if you're looking for a drama, it's not giving that. It legitimately is giving like documentary, real life. And the message was beautiful. I think it was a great, again, another movie really revolving around conversation. I think it was a really good conversation that they had throughout the movie, and a really good message. And I really hope that people of other races really watch it, and police officers really watch it. I could really see this being used for professional development for officers, not gonna lie. I think it would be an excellent tool, excellent conversation starter. So if you're into things like that, I would give it a try. It isn't like you're not going to die if you don't watch it, but it definitely is. If you have, you know, a free day, I would definitely give American Skin a try. Okay, I'm Your Woman, Amazon Prime. Very, very low-key. All of the actors and actresses are people that I am not familiar with, haven't really seen. But it was a very interesting story. It follows a white woman, and her husband is a drug dealer, and one day he comes home. They wanted a baby, but I guess she couldn't have a baby, and one day he comes home with a baby. And so from that, like, I think the next day he goes missing, and then someone comes to pick her up and is like, basically, girl, you gotta run. But she just like got this baby. So the movie is basically just about her trying to figure out what happened to her husband, and she's aided by a black woman and this black man. And so I hope I said that she was a white woman, but if I didn't, she's a white woman. So it's a very interesting dynamic just to see, and it takes place, I believe, in the 70-ish era, and you can tell from the fashion, but it was just a really cool storyline. Again, if you have nothing else to do, pretty good movie, very good acting, very good set, stage, clothing, all of that. It was good. And I think that Prime has been doing an exceptional job with the films and shows that they've been putting out. I really love to see it. Like, it's been great. Wonder Woman 84. Listen, it's not as bad as, you know, Twitter timeline has made it. Would I have preferred that they just kind of like not released it? Yes. I just don't understand, like, DC has some amazing characters. I mean, they have Batman, they got Wonder Woman, they got Green Lantern. Like, I just feel like they never do their characters justice, and this was truly just another example of them doing that. Also, movie makers, stop filming after an hour and 45. When you get to editing, if your movie cannot until an hour 45, you need to go back to the drawing board and cut some more things out. I think that was the issue with me with Wonder Woman 84, that it was just so long for no reason. There were so many things that could have been cut out, so unnecessary, that just like really annoys you and just made you like not even like the movie. My personal take on it, it wasn't terrible. If I had to give it a rating, maybe like a 6.5 or 7. I may have to take it down to a 5.5. Yeah, honestly, I'll never watch it again. And I would probably never like suggest for anyone to watch it. But if you're into superhero movies and you just kind of like want to see what they did, sure, give it a watch. But honestly, DC really showed us that DC is going to DC. They're going to take a great character and give us a trash movie. So that was that. And then my last movie, just to wrap up my January watch list, was Sylvie's Love. So this is Tessa Thompson in this extremely heterosexual role. Maybe it's me, but like I never really see her. She kind of gives like gender ambiguous. You never know, or I guess gender fluid. And I believe that she has identified as being gender fluid. But it was very interesting to see her in this heterosexual role as a wife, a mom, and just like, interested in, being with men and having that conflict of like, do I marry this guy or do I marry this guy? So yeah, Sylvie Love follows Tessa Thompson's character in, and I believe it was maybe in the 80s. It kind of starts off, but essentially Tessa Thompson, her father owns a music store. Her father is a musician as well. And this musician comes in and oh, brother, let me tell you something. Kerry Washington, your husband is fine. And now I know why you've been hiding him from us, because my God. So yeah, Kerry Washington's husband, and I'll put his name up here. I actually can't pronounce it, but I'm going to work to pronounce it correctly because he actually did a phenomenal job in the movie. But he is a musician as well, and he comes into the record store looking for kind of like a part-time gig. And the rest is history. I do want you to watch the movie. But it really is just a beautiful love story of, things happen. And you gotta choose your partner every day, I think. And I think this movie is like an excellent depiction of just that. So that is my January watch list. Some things I'm looking forward to for February. So Denzel Washington has a movie coming out on HBO Max called The Little Things. I'm very excited for that. Also, Judas and the Black Messiah is coming to HBO Max. I'm very excited for that. So those are the two movies I'm looking forward to for February. And I'll be back with the new shows and movies I have seen. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave some questions below, some comments, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!